Unlike video games, you don't get unlimited chances to win her back. You only get a handful of chances. You may have already wasted a few of those chances. And maybe you feel like you've screwed things up for good. But you can probably still get your ex-girlfriend back if you follow the advice in this video. So the question is, how to win her back and keep her? The key to getting her back in a healthy long-term relationship is to give her space, focus on self-improvement, and be bold enough to reach out at the right time. Think of the whole process as a story-driven video game with lots of leveling up, learning new skills, and character growth. If you and the girl you love just broke up, you are probably going through a lot of pain, heartache, grief, obsessiveness, and confusion. This confusion is usually accompanied by a lot of fear and anxiety. Fear of losing her forever. Fear of her choosing some other guy over you. And anxiety of making mistakes that may ruin all your chances. So let's start. Step 1. Identify why your ex broke up with you. One fun fact: your ex is hiding the truth from you. Oftentimes, in a feeble attempt to protect your feelings, your ex will say things like, "It's not you, it's me," and "I think we just make better friends." While these may sound like valid reasons, it's usually not the main reason your ex broke up with you. In almost all cases, the reason one person breaks up with another is because they've experienced a loss of attraction. Your ex likely won't admit to this explicitly, and sometimes they won't even realize they aren't attracted to you anymore. So if I were to sum up this video in just one sentence, it would be this: the key to getting your ex back is to erase the image of the old you, and infuse sexual and emotional attraction into a brand new relationship with your ex. By now you're probably thinking, so what did I do to make my ex lose attraction? Is it because I'm physically unattractive? Chances are, your ex didn't break up with you because he or she found you physically unattractive. Again, in the vast majority of cases, attraction is lost due to several behavioral faux pas that stem from one person's insecurity and lack of confidence. And why am I telling you this? Because if you get your ex back, you simply can't afford to keep behaving the same way. If you do, you will end up losing them again. Regardless of whether you get your ex back or not, it's important to learn how to develop good habits. Your partner will be happier, and you will be happier when you do. So before I get to step 2, I'm going to list several universally unattractive characteristics that kill attraction, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. 1. Being too controlling. I know it may have made you feel uncomfortable when your ex hung out with multiple members of the opposite sex. It's completely normal to have these feelings. However, telling your ex that he or she cannot enjoy the company of their friends is not only wrong, it kills sexual attraction. 2. Being a complete pushover. Human beings are hardwired to be attracted to powerful individuals. In the Paleolithic era, aligning yourself with such individuals would increase your chances of survival. 3. Being jealous. Again, feeling jealous is a natural human phenomenon. I'm not saying that you should never feel jealous, because unfortunately, you can't control these emotions. 4. Constantly being depressed or unhappy. Sorry, the emo thing isn't sexy at all. Emotions are infectious. If you're unhappy, chances are the people around you will be unhappy. 5. Being lazy. Laziness is a destructive habit that can lead to several poor life choices. On top of that, it's a very unattractive characteristic. If you feel like you're a lazy person, there are books and resources to help you eliminate this bad habit from your life. 6. Complaining too much. To nobody's surprise, complaining a lot isn't a very attractive trait. Step 2. The isolation period. Regardless of how long it's been since you and your ex broke up or how far away he or she lives, there needs to be an isolation period. This is often called the no contact period. However, don't be fooled into thinking that simply ignoring your ex will do the trick. There is a very specific way to go about executing the isolation period, and it isn't just about ignoring your ex. What I said at the beginning of this video, part of getting your ex back involves erasing the old you. Your old relationship with your ex didn't work. In fact, it may have even downright sucked, and whether you like it or not, the main reason it didn't work out was because you changed, made a mistake, or slowly over time developed bad habits that led to your ex losing attraction, losing interest, and ultimately breaking up with you. Sorry to be blunt, but sometimes the truth hurts. So, now that you're in this situation, you need to undo past mistakes and erase those memories in your ex's head. You have to give him or her time so that their emotions for you reset. Eventually, once enough time lapses, this will happen. I call this emotional neutral. It is the moment when your ex is, for the most part, emotionally indifferent towards you. In order for you to build a new relationship with your ex, he or she needs to hit emotional neutral. Typically, the rule of thumb is 30 days of no contact with your ex. Studies show that 30 days is enough time for emotions to settle, and this period allows time for your ex to start missing you. However, there are exceptions to every rule. If you've been pleading and begging for your ex to come back this whole time, then it's going to take a lot longer, sometimes up to a year for very specific cases. Again, you simply can't just ignore your ex and then do nothing about it. You need to take action. So what things do you need to do during the no contact period? First and foremost, you need to work on yourself. You need to go out. You need to have fun. Your ex is not going to want to get back together with you if you're sad and depressed. Your ex will only be attracted to you again if you're going out and making the most out of life. Remember this. Instead of staying indoors and moping around, go out and have fun. Hang out with friends. Be social. Don't be a hermit. You need to convey to the world that your life is in order and that you aren't depressed. This can be difficult, but I never said getting your ex back was going to be easy, did I? Here are some tips that you can use to help you out during the no contact period. 1. Workout. Exercising is obviously good for your health, but did you know that it can also improve your mood substantially? By exercising, your brain will begin producing chemicals, serotonin and dopamine, that actually make you happier. 2. Choose a new hobby. Keeping yourself occupied will help keep your mind busy. Learn to play a new instrument. Learn a new sport. The possibilities are endless. 3. Hang out with friends. I said it before and I'll say it again. Spending time with people who you enjoy is the easiest way to take your mind off your ex. Do whatever you can to set up coffee dates with friends, go to the movies, play video games, or whatever you enjoy. 4. Date. If there were only one thing that I could recommend to you during the no contact phase, it would be to date around. Yes, go on dates. It sounds counterintuitive and counterproductive to getting your ex back, but it works. Why? Well, first of all, dating is fun. Even when you're on a mediocre date, it still can be interesting and fun to get to know another person. Secondly, it will increase your confidence. Third, demonstrating to your ex that you're desirable and sought after by other people will increase their feelings of desire for you. This has been scientifically proven numerous times. And fourth, you never know, maybe you'll be able to meet somebody that's even better than your ex. So, while you're keeping yourself busy and increasing your confidence and value, when will you know whether you're ready to contact your ex? This brings me to the next step. Step 3. Reconnecting with your ex. How will you know when your ex is ready to be contacted? Well, you won't. But there are some key things to do when no contact ends. If you've just recently broken up with your ex and you haven't begged, pleaded, or contacted your ex, then 30 days is usually enough time for you to wait. However, if you have done any of the above, then you need to at least double that length of time. Depending on how many mistakes you've made since the breakup, you need to extend the isolation period accordingly. In fact, when in doubt, wait longer. Hopefully during this time you'll have been dating, hanging out with friends, working out, and keeping busy with new hobbies. Now it's time to attract your ex back into your life. I recommend contacting your ex via text message or private social media message, Facebook, Snapchat, etc. Under no circumstance should you be calling your ex at this point. Why? Calling at this point is far too forward. You'll want to take things slow at first, not ambush them out of the blue. Besides, calling just screams desperation. At this point, you don't want to convey anything at all. What you'll want to do is pose what I call a non-threatening question. This is a question that has a purpose. You aren't contacting your ex to say hello. You aren't asking them out on a date. The only reason you're contacting him or her is to ask them a legitimate, non-threatening question. For example, you'll want to send a text message that says something like, "Hey, just was wondering the name of that restaurant we went to on New Year's. Hope all is well with you." This question has two components. 1. It asks a question that needs to be answered, and only your ex can answer it. Secondly, it doesn't demand attention. You end it with something like, "Hope all is well," because it suggests that you don't really care if your ex gets back to you or not. If your ex does respond, chances are if you've been following my advice up to this point, your ex will reply. If your ex does reply, you're in business. You're going to want to keep conversing, but don't get ahead of yourself or try to seal the deal in the first conversation. Instead, just engage in some small talk with a few short, upbeat messages back and forth, and then quickly end the conversation. But wait, don't reply too quickly. When you do eventually reply, leave at least an hour in between text messages. Yes, you heard me, at least an hour. You don't want to blow it now, do you? Avoid any chance of appearing needy in the eyes of your ex by never being too eager or replying to their messages too quickly. Keep up the small talk, and end the conversation abruptly. Sign off with a message like, "Okay, thanks. I have to go to my yoga class, talk soon." Or, "Sorry, nice chatting, but I gotta run, catch up again soon." You'll want to be the one ending the conversation in these scenarios. Why? Again, you'll want to appear as if you don't care too much. Right now, you just want to make it known to your ex that you exist but not that you miss them or need them in any way. After this period, wait another week until you contact your ex again. Continue this process until you become friendly with your ex again. If your ex doesn't reply, don't worry. The thing is, there could be a multitude of reasons why your ex isn't responding. Maybe he or she is busy, tired, away, etc. There are a ton of reasons, so don't get too concerned yet. If your ex ignores you and doesn't reply, then there's one rule you need to remember: don't text your ex again. If you continually text your ex, you will be jeopardizing the whole operation. You've made it this far, so don't mess it up. You'll be tempted to text again right away, but instead, focus on yourself again. Go out with friends, and do anything you can to keep your mind off things. Wait at least 1 to 2 weeks before you try again. Step 4. The magnetic attraction period. At some point in your interactions with your ex, you're going to have to set up a meeting in person. Remember, you need to have a good reason to do anything with your ex, so be prepared to come up with a good excuse to chat with your ex. If you're confused about this, let me jump right into an example. "Hey you! I've always known you had a better eye for interior design than me. I'm trying to renovate my kitchen and wanted your opinion on some stuff. Let's get together for coffee so you can give me some advice?" Or, "Guess what? I'm planning a trip to Peru this winter. Mind if we get together for a coffee so I can grill you with some questions? I know you're an expert after your time living there. You need to be posing as a friend for now. As of right now, nothing sexual should come out of this, at least not yet. You'll be wanting to make sure you tell your ex that this will be a short and sweet meeting. Your ex will be intimidated and possibly turned off if you suggest a very long meeting, so make it clear this meetup will be brief and casual. Once the actual date occurs, you need to turn up the sexual chemistry. Start flirting. Flirting is the #1 way to spark attraction again and compel your ex to think of you in a sexual manner. Don't know how to flirt? Don't worry, I've got you covered. 1. Touch, touch, touch. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. Touching is a form of communication. Go to a public place and observe friends and lovers communicate with each other. Chances are, they'll be touching each other in some way. Something as simple as giving somebody a high five is an incredibly bonding experience between two human beings. Finally, look how couples interact. Kissing, holding hands, and hugs are fundamental bonding gestures between two lovers. So make sure you touch your ex a lot in inadvertent ways. If he or she seems receptive to this, then ramp it up. Don't forget the basics of romantic attraction here, folks. Your goal is to make your ex fall back in love with you. Flirting and sexual tension are essential to making your ex love you. 2. Look them in the eyes. Eye contact is a powerful thing. Again, when it comes to building chemistry, whether sexual or otherwise, holding eye contact is essential. Don't just stare at your ex's eyes. Stare at his or her lips too. This sends very subtle sexual messages. 3. Smile at them. This shouldn't be too difficult. 4. Reminisce about sexual encounters you've had with him or her, but subtly. Try and reignite the passion by bringing up something related to a sexual moment you shared with your ex. For example, if you and your ex had a steamy sexual encounter right after the Yankees game a year ago, talk about the events immediately preceding the sexual encounter. Try and remind them how intimate and passionate it was. 5. Use humor. Obviously, a good sense of humor is a powerful aphrodisiac. Make sure that as you're flirting, you're doing all you can to make your ex laugh. Remember to keep things light. Don't talk about anything negative. Don't talk about how your relationship ended. Don't argue. Remember, chances are this is the chance to reattract your ex back into your life. You don't want to blow things wide open at this point. After you've used all these techniques, chances are your ex will be laughing and enjoying his or her time. Once your ex is showing these signs of interest in you, you have the green light to move into a more intimate setting. That means you need to find a good excuse to invite your ex over. Again, don't forget the fundamentals of this. You need to have a good reason to invite your ex over. Say you got a new collection of fish, for instance, or recently bought a new Xbox game you know your ex will like. Whatever you do, do not just invite your ex over for no reason. This will be a red flag for them. If you're a man, you'll want to have sex with your ex as quick as possible. That means if your ex wants to have sex with you, it's on. Have sex with her by seducing her and showing her the time of her life. You'll want to do some research on how to make love and how to make sure that what she's experiencing is the best sex of her life. Make the sex unforgettable so that she'll never think about leaving you again. Women get extremely bonded with the partners they have sex with, more so than men. If your ex has sex with you, chances are the next step is how you'll get back together. If you're a woman, then don't have sex with your ex until he's ready to commit to you. Don't make it a big deal. When you invite him back, flirt. Keep flirting and make it sexual. Turn him on. However, the key here is to not have sex with him. This sort of thing will drive a man crazy. Once you do this, a little switch will go off in his mind and he'll do anything he has to have you. If you like this video, please give thumbs up and share it with someone who needs this. Thanks for watching.